The bills keep going up and the income stays the same. If you're like me, you're looking for more ways to reduce your bills and save more money. In this video, I share with you the easiest ways I have found to reduce my family's expenses. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Samantha, creator of the Frugal Mom Life, where I share money-saving frugal tips that have helped my family of 5 live a more meaningful and happier life. My first tip is to hang your laundry out to dry. You can do this inside on a clothesline that you've hung in one of the rooms, or you can do it outside where the sun and the wind can dry those clothes for you. Now, this will reduce your electric bill by using the dryer less often. On those same lines, you could also consider getting rid of your dryer altogether. I have done this to reduce my electric bill significantly. It has helped me save at least 20% off of my electric bill just within the past few months. The second thing you can do to save money on your bills is to cancel any unused subscriptions. You can look through your bank account and look at all of the subscriptions that you're subscribed to that are going out of your account, and then just cancel any of them that you find that you don't use as often or that you could do without. We have done this in the past. We rotate through TV subscriptions like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, and we rely most heavily on the freer subscriptions like the Roku channel, and there's other ones like Tubi and ones like that. It all comes down to what provides you the most value at a given point in time. We will subscribe to fitness subscriptions in the winter months where we can't really go out and work out. And then in the summer, when it gets warmer outside, we will cancel those subscriptions, and then we'll just go out for walks and runs and stuff, hiking outside for our fitness. My third tip will save you money on your utility bills, and it's to ask for discounts. I have heard of people getting discounts on like utilities like phone and internet, and especially the electric bills. If they are in certain demographics like low income, elderly, or disabled. So if you fit into any of those categories, or even if you're just looking to save some extra money on your bills, feel free to give your utility providers a phone call and explain your situation. They may give you a discount. The worst they can say is no, and then your bill stays the same. So don't be afraid to call and ask for a discount. I have done this in the past, especially with utilities like internet and phone and such like that. I'd call, and they often have competing utility providers in the area that they compete with based on pricing and such. And I'd call them and say, hey, my bill increased, or I noticed that this utility provider in my area has offered a lower price. And then the utility provider that I'm calling will often give me a discount for a certain amount of months. And it does save quite a bit of money. Another thing to look into concerning your electric bill is look and see if your electric company offers reduced prices for certain peak hours or non-peak hours. They will often have reduced prices that if you use the electric during those hours, often in the evenings or at night, you get a discount off your electric bill. Something that my electric company does offer is they offer rebates on new appliances. If you buy an appliance that is Energy Star certified, then you can go ahead and apply for a rebate through them. The list of Energy Star certified appliances is always changing. So if your electric company does offer this, make sure you go on the list and see what appliances are actually the Energy Star certified, and make sure you purchase one of those to get the rebate. My next tip for you is to purchase secondhand. You can purchase at places like Goodwill, thrift stores, yard sales, or any other secondhand place in your area, any secondhand store. And you should also search your Facebook Marketplace, or even look in your Facebook Buy Nothing group. A lot of the areas have a Buy Nothing group that you can join and then search for in there for the item that you're wanting, or ask in there. Or just ask on your Facebook, just on your regular Facebook, ask your friends if they might have that item that you're looking for. And oftentimes you can find it at a reduced price rather than buying brand new. We took advantage of this significantly when our kids were growing up and when they were younger and going through clothing sizes like crazy. We would get a lot of their clothing from yard sales, and we got quite a significant discount by doing that. My next tip is to reduce what you use. We have reduced what we use significantly in the past, and it has saved us quite a bit of money. A lot of the detergents and soaps, you don't need as much as the instructions call for. And a lot of times if you use more detergent, like laundry soap, if you use more laundry soap than what you should be using, it will ruin your machine and make it perform less effectively. So you should really be only using the bare minimum. And that includes things like shampoo and conditioner and body wash and deodorant. You really don't need all that much to get clean and to stay clean. When the bottles of the soaps get low, you could add a little bit of water into the bottles and just give them a little shake gently. And you can get a couple more uses out of that. So that will help you use the entirety of the bottle, thereby reducing how much you use as well. And the things that you can't add water to, like tubes, you can cut them open, like the toothpaste tubes, cut them open to get the remainder of the toothpaste that's stuck in the tube. The next tip for you is, along with the reuse or reduce, you can also reuse items that you usually would just throw away. Things like plastic bags that a lot of the food and such comes in. You can reuse those for, if nothing else, garbage. When my kids were in diapers, when they were real young, I would store plastic bags, keep them in the diaper bag, and then I would use them for used diapers. Just put them in there, and it makes it easier to toss, less messy, and it just contains that mess. And you could also use them in the car. Store a few of those bags in the car so that you can contain the trash when you're traveling. Also, look at the plastic food containers that your food comes in, like to-go containers or cottage cheese containers, sour cream containers, any of those dairy containers like that your food might come in, that you can wash out and store leftovers in. That's a great way to reuse those items. You could also keep things like egg cartons and milk jugs and juice jugs, water jugs. We use egg cartons for like painting or when we do gardening, and the jugs like that we will use to make our own drinks like iced tea, lemonade, and just drink mixes like that. So try to think of things that you can reuse these items for, like painting or crafting or gardening or shop storage or to organize a drawer. There's often a lot of different things you can use one-time use items for, or things that are intended for one-time use, like those takeout containers. You can use them over and over again. The biggest thing that has helped us to save money over the past 10 years or more is we make and we use a budget. Now, I think budgets have gotten a bad reputation in the past, and a lot of people see them as restrictive, and I don't want you to see it as that. A budget is actually a tool. In my eyes, it's a tool to help me pay my bills on time and to help me decide where to put my extra money based on my goals. So this is by far the biggest tip that I can give you in this video. I think everybody should have a budget or some kind of plan on where your money is going. And if you're unsure on where to start in making a budget, or you have tried and failed in the past, check out my free budget planner. It is simple and easy to use, and it's the same way that I have budgeted successfully for the past 10 plus years. Going along with that, my next tip is to check your bank accounts often. You should be checking your accounts at least a couple times a week, if not every day. Because let's be honest, we've all been there where we thought we had money in the bank account, we've gone shopping, and then we find that our card has been declined when we go to check out. Or we look at our bank account a week after our shopping trip and realize, hey, our account is overdrawn, and now we have tons of fees on that account being overdrawn. Well, checking your account frequently, along with having the budget, will help to prevent those scares. My next tip is to consider having a no-spend challenge. We have done several of these in the past, and we actually implement at least one or two each month. We've done the most significant ones when we're trying to save money, like when we were trying to save money for a car, and when we were trying to save money for a vacation, or just trying to save money overall, trying to reduce those expenses and save money for upcoming expenses that may be a little more than we expected. There are many different challenges that you may try to challenge yourself to partake in. Some of my favorite are no spend days. You can try to do like 2 no spend days a week, or challenge yourself and do 4 no spend days a week, or do half the month as no spend days. We actually just did this when we went on vacation. We did some no spend day challenges, and it made it a little bit fun. We had to try to find things that we could do that didn't cost any money. You could even do a no spend challenge on your expenses. Try to reduce an expense. We have done this. I like to target things like the grocery budget because that's one that a lot of people overspend in, including myself. I will try to reduce the grocery budget by like $50 a month or $100 a month. And I've also done it on the electric bill, try to reduce that by $20 a month. So there's certain things within those expenses, the utility bills and such, that you can try to reduce those as well in doing a no spend challenge. Just be careful when you're doing the no spend challenge, because there's kind of a thin line between making it challenging and making it not fun, you know? It's one thing to tell your family that you're trying to save money for a vacation, so you'll be adding beans to the meal plan a couple days a week. And it's another thing to tell your family that, hey, we need to save money, so we're going to fast for breakfast and not eat breakfast at all. The latter, I don't think your family would like very much. My last tip is one that will likely save a significant amount of money, because I know it's saved me a lot in the past, and that is to meal plan. I meal plan every week, and the weeks that I don't meal plan are the weeks that we usually do go out to eat more often than I would like, and we do spend a lot more on food and groceries in general. So I have realized that meal planning every week has to be my go-to to save us the most amount of money. Meal planning will also reduce the amount of waste in your house. I noticed a couple months ago that we were throwing away a lot of food in the trash because it just wasn't getting eaten. And every now and then I'll notice that as well. Every couple of months, it seems like we rotate back and we realize, hey, we're throwing out a lot of food. Maybe we need to like readjust our meal plan and add a couple more days of eating leftovers in there. When you do have a meal plan, you're definitely less tempted to go out to eat. I noticed a lot of the times myself or the kids will look in the fridge when we don't have a meal plan. We'll look in the fridge and we'll say, hey, there's nothing in the house to eat. When in reality, we do have food. It just requires a little more prep to get ready and prepare to be eaten. So along with meal planning, you should also have a second option ready for those days that maybe time gets away from you or life gets a little too crazy and you don't have time to prep for those meals. Things like frozen dinners. You can prep frozen dinners ahead of time, make them from scratch and just freeze them so that they can just be thrown in the oven. Or things like, what we like a lot is we like canned soup. You can do frozen soup. That's also an excellent idea. But we like to keep canned soup on hand as well, because then we can just open the can, pour it in the pan, warm it up, have it with a sandwich, and there we go. There's our meal. And I know the canned soup is more expensive than if you were to make the soup from scratch. And yes, it's cheaper to make it from scratch, but having the convenience of the canned soup is a lot cheaper than saying, hey, there's nothing in the house to eat and now we have to go out and order out and spend more money on eating out. So there you have it, the 10 easiest tips that I have found for my family to save money on our expenses. If you liked this video or you gained any kind of knowledge from it, you found it helpful in any way, please feel free to like, share, and or subscribe to the channel so that you never miss the next video.